because it is a foundation. Well, as president, I want to make a pledge to the people of America. Number one, on my first day in office, I'll issue an executive order that protects and extends a complete umbrella of protection to everyone in this country for their religious beliefs based on the First Amendment, that there will be no persecution or prosecution of those who wish to exercise the restraints and the deep-felt convictions of their conscience, and that this would be protected. Secondly, I will appoint and instruct an Attorney General to vigorously protect and defend the religious liberty, not only of individual citizens and business owners, but hospitals, churches, synagogues, mosques, as well as universities, schools, whether they're religious or not, and not allow discrimination and bigotry to be applied toward those who have a conscience and who have convictions. These are things that I'm convinced we have to begin to embrace and to explain, and to make sure that this country is on solid ground. And when we're on solid ground, you know what? We're going to be on higher ground as well. And that's my pledge, to take this country from hope to higher ground. And you're part of that journey with me. For those of you who come here tonight, maybe just because you saw a bunch of people in cars and said, hey, what's going on? Maybe they got free pizza. Heck, I don't know. I don't think we do. I think it's just some desserts. For those of you who are here because you know this is the first of many, many evenings that you will come from work and you will spend hours here helping us to win the caucuses, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you because I'll be here a lot. And for those of you who are even thinking about supporting someone else for president, boo on you and get in the game tonight. You know, we've got so many candidates. Look, I get that, and I am asked every day, what do you think about all the candidates? I think there's too many. I think we should just have one, and it should be me. But you know what? I'd rather have too many than too few. I'd rather have too many people who want to stand up and say, I'll lead this country, than for nobody to say, I'll do it. Right. And I'm reminded of the words of the prophet Isaiah, who said, here am I, send me. In essence, my campaign is my lifting my hand and saying, here am I, send me. I think my life has been a preparation for this moment. I truly believe that. To govern in a state where it was difficult and hostile. I don't know of any other person running for president that had the kind of lopsided legislature and yet got accomplished what we were able to get accomplished over a broad array of issues over an extended period of time. If you look at Washington and see how dysfunctional it is, I think you would agree we need someone who understands the art of governing and who also could take that verse from Isaiah that says, come, let us reason together. There hadn't been a lot of that. I pledge that I want to make America not only get to work again with jobs, I just want the country to work again, to work like it was designed and intended to work. Part of my being heartbroken over last week's decision was not just the product of the decision, it was the process. I cherish the Constitution. I cherish our system of government, of checks and balances, and the equality of the branches that are nothing less than brilliant in its design, so that no one entity, individual, would ever be able to grasp so much power that they would be able to create a tyranny. Because that's what our founders fought, rejected, and declared their independence from. God help us all if we would trade one tyranny that so many people have bled to escape from, and we surrendered to yet another one. We cannot do that to our kids. We will not do that to our grandkids. And thank you for standing with me to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, I think now we're going to enjoy a little refreshments. Is that right, or is there any? What's that?
Right.
Is there? that what we're doing?
Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing.
It's either that or I talk longer, so you tell me. I kind of get the impression that it's dessert time, I believe, right? Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless you. Please rise.
You're in Iowa. I'm sure there's some purple ribbon cookies over there.
I bet there is, right? Thanks. Hey there. Oh, you've got a good book, huh? Great book. Son.
Two rocks. Good luck in Iowa State.
What's he going to major? Well, there's a little bit of that going on in this state. I'm sure of it. Thank you. Yeah.
Is audio okay? Test, everybody? Okay?
Governor, you came under fire for calling Chief Justice Roberts a schizophrenic from the National Alliance of the Mentally Ill. Any response to that?
You know, I come under fire for something every day, so it's not unusual. And it's easy to offend people, and I'm sure I'll do it again. But it was no offense. It was simply a matter of trying to differentiate what was an incredibly diverse opinion delivered on Thursday and delivered on Friday. In one case, saying, yeah, we can make law. We'll just reach out there and do what Congress failed to do. We'll rescue Congress. We'll rescue a very poorly written bill. We know what the intention was, but we're going to go ahead and rewrite it. And the very next day, his scathing dissent says, who do we think we are? We can't just write the law as we wish it to be. And so that was my intent.
Governor, would you consider Nikki Haley, the governor of South Carolina, a potential running mate for anyone within the GOP or yourself?
Well, I think she would be definitely a prospect for, I would say, anybody running for president. But there's probably a couple of dozen other people as well. We've got a great bench, a terrific talent pool in the GOP. It's one reason you see 14 and counting candidates out there. So she's very impressive. She's done a terrific job in South Carolina. I'm not ready to name a running mate just quite, because I'd like to get the nomination first, but I think she'd be on anybody's list.
Governor, you talked a little while ago about signing an executive order. How is that different than what Obama did with executive orders on amnesty, which you called unconstitutional?
Sure, because creating something that isn't in the Constitution or law is overreach. Giving an executive order that mirrors the Constitution is the very purpose for which there is an executive order. Religious liberty is at the heart and soul of the Constitution of the First Amendment. Amnesty is not. It's very simple.
Back to Cynthia's question. You told the folks here that you kind of say outrageous things. Is that part of your shtick?
No, there's no shtick to it. It's just a matter of, I'm not going to be a person who goes around and constantly is so afraid that I'll say something that'll either be misunderstood or that will cause an offense, because we're living in a day now where everybody is going to get offended from everything. And I'll be honest with you, if I were as bland and as colorless as some people would probably hope a candidate to be, you guys would have nothing to ever talk about. I mean, I would give you nothing. So you gotta give me a little love here, and realize that it is in the best interest of the public to have candidates who speak clearly and who speak vividly and colorfully, not to offend, but to illustrate. And I'll continue to do that.
One more in. Governor.
Yes, sir.
Chris Christie declared his candidacy today. What's your reaction on that?
Well, I don't really have one, other than I don't think it was a big surprise. He becomes number 14, I believe. Like I have with all the other candidates, I welcome him to the race. I still think that we need to make sure that among ourselves that we approach this as one would approach trying out to be the quarterback of the football team. And that we want to get the job, not because we broke the legs of all the other people wanting it, but because we played a better game. We just went out there and won it on the field. And that's what I'm hoping to do and going to be working hard to do.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks.
Are you going to all 99 counties?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess somebody's keeping up with
Did
how many
you
we've been
last
to.
time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we did.
And you want to do that again?
Actually, I do. You know, and I'll tell you, I'll let you guys sort out which one's which. I think one of the things that's most charming about campaigning in Iowa is that there are so many experiences to have with people, especially in the rural counties where a lot of people don't ever go. Population may not be as large, but you'll find some of the kindest and sweetest and most genuinely delightful people. When we were down in the southern part of the state last week, we were in some small towns and counties. I think, gosh, when we were at the Dinky Diner, that whole town probably has, what, a couple hundred people in it maybe? I mean, the diner is pretty much the town. We packed that place out, and they were so grateful to see us. And, you know, the questions were just as tough, just as insightful. It was terrific. So it's one of the things that, coming from Arkansas, which is a very person-to-person retail state, you can't win an election there unless you go out to every volunteer fire department pie supper, fish fry, and you go out there and meet people and talk to people and let them tell you what they think. And it's what I find is most, frankly, wonderful about the whole Iowa caucus process.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Folks over here want to say.
All right.
Hey.
Hi there. How are you doing?
Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thanks.